You are my baby doll. You are my baby doll. You are my baby doll. You're my sweetheart now. Don't you leave me, my baby doll. Don't you leave me, my baby doll. Don't you leave me, my baby doll. You're my sweetheart now. Here we go. Oh, and a baby doll polka.
I hope you're happy. I'd like to personally thank the viewer that suggested this wretched topic. This is so depressing. Get it together, Ben. One of our viewers suggested that I base a show around local TV kiddie show hosts, and like an idiot, I decided to pursue the idea. They're all dead. Every last one of them. Most of them, anyway. They're either dead or unemployed, with one exception. And they were all such sweet, wonderful people. I can't make fun of them. I'd never be able to live with myself. I'm screwed. All right. Let's see what I can do with this. When I was growing up, I think it was the last gasp for local children's television. By the time the 90s rolled around, there had been a minor renaissance for local kids show hosts, whereas during the 40s through 70s, you'd get a usually half-hour show with some cutesy, cuddly host and a few short cartoons thrown in to break things up. Now you had some token host, usually an adult smartass or a bunch of stage teens, just acting as bumpers between a proper full-length show and the commercials. And they'd hold your hand through a whole block of shows, usually for 2 to 3 hours, 5 to 6 days a week. Now, I really wanted to share my local host growing up, Uncle G. Hi, Uncle G. But alas, my research has turned up nothing. So, let's take a look at some of the things that I could find. This quote-unquote show from the Fox affiliate in Miami was brought to my attention by one of our viewers. This, to me, is symptomatic of why these things didn't survive into the new millennium. Hiring a few obnoxious teens might be cost-effective, but it leads nowhere from a home viewer's standpoint. If you're nostalgic for these shows, I apologize, but I think these are terrible. Nonetheless, here's some dirt I dug up on Whammy on Miami.
No whammy, no whammy, stop!
These kids were paid entirely in pixie sticks, which I think may have been the impetus behind these kids' downfall. Here's what I found. Homeless, albeit together. Homeless and toothless. Homeless, toothless, and addicted. I find it just terrible that the peak of these poor kids' lives was hosting some lame cartoons. Entire crowd, homeless. Let's face it, this quote-unquote show was cursed. And you know what the worst part is? I still don't know exactly what it means to go whammy on Miami. Poor old Svengoolie. When the Fox network bought out Chicago's WFLD in 1986, they promptly fired Sven, claiming that he didn't fit in with the network's vision. But Sven persevered. He subjected himself to an extensive makeover, gaining weight, cutting his famous locks, and shaving his awesome stash, as well as sacrificing his charming Transylvanian accent to imitate some average Chicagoan schmuck, right down to a real stupid-sounding, stereotypical Chicago-style Polish name, Rich Coes. Ew. Sven stuck it to the man 3 times. First, by landing a new horror movie host position, which became known as the Coes Zone, which was soon expanded into a weekday kids edition. Secondly, by staying fresh and funny. And lastly, by bringing his true identity back for the occasional guest shot. Okay, jokes aside, in the name of full disclosure, we were unable to turn up any significant footage of the kids edition of the Coes Zone, and were forced to use the adult version, which by all accounts was very similar. The Coes Zone ended in 1993. At the end of 1994, Coase was picked up by rival station WCIU to revive Svengoolie, and in 2011, national between channel MeTV took Sven national. Enjoy this moment of sunshine, folks, because this is the only happy ending on today's show.
Well, Karis isn't going to be having much fun if he figures out that Yusef.
Interesting as some of the latter-day kiddie show hosts could be, the real heyday of local children's TV was between the late 40s and the 70s. And believe me, we're going to spend some quality time here, so get comfortable. This next show was probably the final true local kids show. Airing on New York's WPIX from 1972 to 1984, The Magic Garden was like NPR for preschoolers, which is a nice way of saying a bit dull. Hosted by Carol DeMoss and Paula Janis, effectively a makeshift folk duo. Are you familiar with the 60s folk duo The Simon Sisters? Probably not. Tell me that Carol and Paula were not an exact replica of the Simon Sisters.
Winking and a blinking and a nod one night, sailed off on a wooden shoe, sailed down a river of crystal light into a sea of dew. Lots of things to play here, so why all don't you stay here? Come and see our garden grow, hello. Come and see our garden grow, hello.
The concept of the Magic Garden was that Carol and Paula would sing mostly well-known children's songs like Pop Goes the Weasel and encourage those at home to join in. That's about it, really. There were a few puppets on the show, but they just seemed to act as an excuse to sing more songs. In spite of that, let's take a look.
Is clap every time we come to the pop part, like that.
What if you've got the clap? Can I still participate?
So every time I go, pop goes the weasel, you do it with me.
No,
And
thanks.
If you feel like doing more than that, you could stamp your feet on pop, or you could pop like a jack in the box.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, just do something. We'll be
And
watching
you watch us.
Oh, how
There are
comforting.
A lot of pops in this song. Ready?
I'd sure like to know what they were growing in that magic garden. Just saying.
The monkey thought was all in fun. Pop goes the weasel. Penny for a spool of thread, a penny for a needle.
No inflation in Monkey Land, pop goes the weasel.
That was very good. All around the barber chair, the monkey chased the weasel.
The weasel trimmed the monkey's hair.
Pop goes the weasel.
The weasel seems like a pretty decent guy.
At home, the monkey broke his favorite comb
And smeared the shop with shaving foam.
Pop goes the weasel.
That monkey sure is a weasel.
All around the candy store, the monkey chased the weasel.
Quoth the raven nevermore, pop goes the weasel.
When the monkey winked his eye, the weasel ate a cherry pie. Kissed the
Never
victim
tune
on
your
the
guitar,
back.
Paula.
Pop goes
Never
the
sell out to the mainstream.
That was pretty good.
You did it very well.
Did you remember where all the pops were?
I gotta have my pops.
If you really sang it fast, you might not get all those pops in. Do you
Shall
think
we
that they
try
might?
it? If we sing it really fast, let's all get ready with the pops, because this is going to be harder this time.
Okay.
Every fourth measure, you can't miss the
All
pops.
around the cobbler's bench, the monkey chased the weasel.
You know, they're really not trying to challenge the kids here. They're just as sick of this song as we are.
And a penny for a needle.
The monkey was on welfare, pop goes the weasel.
Here we go. All around the barber chair, the monkey chased the weasel. The weasel trimmed the monkey's hair. Pop goes the weasel.
Amphetamines are good and good for you.
Comb and smear the shop with shaving foam. Pop goes the weasel. Oh! All around the candy store, the monkey chased the weasel. The candy spilled all over the floor. Pop goes the weasel. When the monkey winked his eye, the weasel ate a cherry pie. Kiss me quick, I'm off the pie.
Wait, so the monkey and the weasel were lovers? Does that mean the pop was a metaphor?
Hey, Flap.
Bad touch, bad touch.
We'll keep you down here in the shed somewhere.
Oh, we could get a nice little place for you in the shed. We'll help. Right, and then we can play.
Oh,
together,
no, thank you,
work
thank you.
together, And
Bad touch, bad touch.
Tickle me there, Flip.
I think we should sing Flap
He's
a
so
song to welcome
affectionate.
them,
It's
don't you?
amazing.
Oh, playmate, come out and play with me.
Hey, ladies,
And we'll have fun.
ladies,
You'll
the
see
studio is on fire.
our magic
You better go.
tricks.
Ladies, this place is a tinderbox. Oh my god. You're on your own. Following Raffi's exile to Canada, Carol and Janice are now the sole fixtures of the kiddie oldies circuit, playing to overly nostalgic 40 and 50-somethings that really need psychological help. And their children, who probably just don't give a damn either way. Okay, next stop, Minneapolis, Minnesota, the home of Prince, Mystery Science Theater 3000, and this guy. This show is called Axel and His Dog, though a cat and lady friend were involved as well. Axel was effectively an overgrown child from Scandahoovia. I think it's like Atlantis, by way of Minnesota. He lived in a treehouse with a cat and dog. And Axel was played by one Clellan Card. He'd originated his Axel character in the late 30s for a Christmas sketch on his radio show. In the early 50s, Card lost 2 of his 3 children in separate tragic accidents. Perhaps as his way of grieving, Card turned his entertainment skills towards children. In 1954, Card resurrected his Axel character for a kiddie show host position at WCCO. Sometime in the early 60s, Card was diagnosed with cancer. The diagnosis remained a secret, and Card continued hosting his show until he simply couldn't handle it anymore. In 1966, Card hosted his final episode of Axel and His Dog, which he treated like any other show. A little over a week later, Clellan Card passed away at the age of 62. I told you this was not going to be a happy episode. Nonetheless, let's take a better look at Axel and His Dog.
Say, do you know something? I'm going to do some more singing today before...
No. My vocal cords are still a little sore from the Magic Garden.
Partner, too. Oh! Surprised to see you here.
I told you it does not pay to feed your dog radioactive begging strips.
You like to sing, huh? You heard Tallulah singing, did you?
I agree.
I don't think she does very good to you. She got me all off key. I was going along awfully good on the afternoon of a fawn.
By Yes, right?
The entrance of the gods into Valhalla.
By Emerson, Lake and Palmer?
Like that, you know. And she got right in the way. She sings in the cracks, not even the white or the black keys.
Okay, that was actually a pretty good joke. Don't see many of those around here.
This here Swanson River one, huh? I think you can do a lot better.
I doubt it.
Okay, here we go. That's the key of D.
Yeah, D for don't.
Way down upon the...
Funny, my singing has the same effect on dogs.
Far, far away. Nope, it won't do, I'm afraid. Don't hold that door, Towser, please.
Lay off. Towser's just adhering to Conelrad guidelines. Good gracious, I think I'm getting my accent back.
Call for volunteers,
Help me.
I'm afraid. If you care to volunteer to sing with me, please leave me know, and we'll try to work something out in somebody's garage.
Which you just admitted over the air.
Tomorrow at 4:45 Monday, kids.
Remember to take out the trash.
Birdie, the jelly bean hopped upon my windowsill.
Oh my god, I think he's possessed.
What did you do after you licked the envelope? Flap?
We'll be right back. Maybe I can find my normal voice again.
You remember Goldilocks, the kid who used to take her meals at the Three Bears place? Nowadays, she heads for Shakey's with 21 kinds of great pizza and even more kinds of fun.
This is what I call a fun place.
We serve fun at Shakey's, also pizza.
Shakey's!
Hey, kids, look, a Frisbee. It spins, it floats, it flies. Get one free with a family-sized pizza at Shakey's.
I think I'm back to normal, or at least as normal as I get. Oh, I swear, we just can't seem to avoid Chicago on this show. This next show is quite possibly one of the most short-lived local kiddie shows on record, lasting on NBC affiliate WNBQ for about 2 months in the fall of 1952. It was short-lived, not because it was that bad, though it most definitely sucks, but because it was so popular. It ended its local run early when NBC picked it up for national broadcast, and the show continued on in some way, shape, or form for the next 13 years. The show in question? Ding Dong School? What kind of title is that?
This is another part of dressing up, which is very important in the lives of children from many ages. I'm going to put it on even though it messes my hair up again because I did it with the children. This is made out of rug yarn, and it helps the little boy who wants to become a girl. It helps the little girl who wants long braids.
Hosted by Frances Horwick, or Miss Frances as she was known, Ding Dong School was intended for preschoolers. Every day, Miss Frances would take you around what suspiciously appeared more like a single-room apartment as opposed to a proper school, teaching kids about simple activities to do around the house and how to be a good citizen. So, fasten your seatbelts. Can you say seatbelts? Sure, I thought you could. Mr. Seatbelt is there to keep you from getting up, because we wouldn't want any accidents now, would we? Accidents are bad.
Come and see Ding Dong School.
Where you learn to be a ding-dong.
Girls, come with me here and see Ding Dong School.
Apparently a PhD doesn't get you any rhyming skills. Did I mention that Miss Frances had a PhD? And was head of the education department at Northwestern University?
I'm going to tell you today. I'm not going to even give you a hint of any kind. No, because we're going to make a kind of sandwich which is just delicious. You like sandwiches?
No. Does that excuse me from today's lesson, Miss Frances? Didn't think so.
The one we're going to make today has 3 things in it besides bread. I'm going to get one.
Clink.
Oh, I stumbled over that, didn't I?
Apparently Miss Frances had a few sandwiches before the show today.
And let me come back to the sandwich. Oh, it's such a good sandwich. It's made with 2 slices of bread, with lettuce.
Lettuce and more lettuce. It's from Subway.
Peanut butter. And with bananas.
So it's the Elvis Presley diet sandwich?
Well, you saw that I got washed, and this is what I stumbled over.
Clink.
And here is where
In case you're wondering, Miss Helen, it's always Miss somebody, had to get back to her job at the roller rink. She just did Ding Dong School on her lunch break for a few extra bucks.
And 2 slices of bread.
Very, very white bread.
You know what we're going to put on first?
Gas masks?
Peanut butter. Oh, do you? It's your favorite kind of sandwich?
I never said anything.
Peanut butter on 1 slice of bread, not on both slices.
Because if you do, the communists win.
Be sure to get it all the way over to the edge. Sure. Oh, you do.
It's amazing how excited she gets over a peanut butter sandwich. Gee, I'd hate to hear what she's like in the bedroom.
Look, see?
Not that I've thought about it.
Peanut butter went all the way around, didn't it?
Yeah, let's encourage OCD.
Now, what do you think I'm going to put on next?
Battery acid?
Take a banana. That's easy, isn't it?
If I've been watching this enough, nothing is easy.
Well, your mother will do the cutting part. You may do the spreading. Not with a peel on.
You could have told me first. Great, my sandwich is ruined.
A nice banana. And I'm going to cut it right in half like that. See?
That's not half. You better try it again.
Your mother will do the slicing. Right down like that. And then you may put the banana on the sandwich. Doesn't it look good? We need some more.
She sure enjoys cutting phallic-shaped things a little too much.
Oh, well, I know Harvey likes sandwiches that are made of peanut butter.
Harvey's her imaginary bunny friend.
This is extra. Yes, maybe when your mother's making a sandwich, if she's making only one, maybe you'll get this thing.
You don't know my mother.
Now, what do you think I'm going to put over here?
Your pride?
Well, you know what this is?
Illegal in 36 states?
That has been washed and broken.
Browbeaten to death, really.
No, not cut. It's been broken open.
Just like my spirit.
Yes, and we'll take some leaves of lettuce. Now, let's see, how many leaves of lettuce do we need?
15?
Oh, I'm making all kinds of noise here with things that are right here.
She's so observant, isn't she?
Crack them a little bit more so they'll stay flat. Just break them when the lettuce is crisp.
It sounds like breaking bones. I like the sound of breaking bones.
I am too. Bread and lettuce. Bread, peanut butter, and
Summer squash?
banana.
That was close.
Now, let's see if we can get them together.
Not till this whole desegregation thing happens.
Just like that. And look what a high sandwich it makes.
Well, not as high as you'd have to be to actually enjoy this show.
Gently. And then what do you have to do? Cut it.
Preferably with a machete.
This is the part that your mother does, because a sharp knife, you never go near the sharp knife.
I always did.
I never went near sharp knives when I was young either.
Come on, Miss Francis, you were never young.
No, let's cut it. It's easy. If the filling falls out, it's very easy to put back in.
But then again, why would you bother?
And see?
I can only imagine the wild times she and Mr. Rogers would have had together.
It is a plate. And this plate has a picture of a rooster on it. Look at that.
Ah! Oh, I'm having flashbacks to Kitty a Go-Go.
Covers up his head. Sandwich number 2 covers up his tail. Sandwich number 3
covers up his unmentionables, which I don't even know the names of because I'm so pure.
4 goes right there. Delicious.
She really needs to learn to start bringing her oxygen tank with her.
And peanut butter? What else?
Wildebeest tongue?
Well, lettuce doesn't smell like peanut butter and banana.
Hopefully.
No. What things were in that sandwich so that you'll be able to tell your brothers and sisters and mother and daddy? What?
Carbon paper, wildebeest tongue, and mayonnaise.
You forgot what?
No, carbon paper, wildebeest tongue, and mayonnaise.
Banana!
No, that wasn't it.
There, you got it that time.
No, I'm still working on it.
Now, a big sandwich, and when you cut it in 4, it makes 4 small sandwiches.
Oh.
And it's such...
Hey, you know what? I feel like a total ding-dong now, so... You know what? That means I graduated ding-dong school! Yes! Never let it be said that I don't go the extra mile for the archive. This next show, my forehead has developed a grotesque callus from the sheer number of facepalms I did watching the 4 surviving episodes of this show. Before I give the name, some background I think is in order. This slice of early television pain was a vehicle to sell Bonomo brand candies, which clearly worked beautifully given I'd never heard of this brand prior to this show. Though evidently you can still get their stuff at those specialty nostalgic candy stores that all the finer tourist traps have these days. This company primarily made what they claimed to be taffy, though it was more of a nougat, really. By all accounts, this product required a ball-peen hammer or a small, preferably metal sledgehammer to break the candy into little pieces to eat, jagged edges and all. This is not one of my jokes, I swear. My point is that this show followed the same screwy mentality as the products they were hawking. Nothing's what it seems and everything feels like the television equivalent to chewing on broken glass. I bring to you now the new low point of the archive, the Magic Clown, because you haven't had enough magic today. I know I'm stretching the local concept here, as this show started as a full-on national major network thing. However, after torturing the nation from 1949 to 1954, this show went down to local stature. New York Dumont Network affiliate WABD then picked up the show, which lasted for another 4 years. The Dumont Network was already dying, but I think this show may have single-handedly killed the Dumont Network. 2 years into the Magic Clown's run on WABD, the Dumont Network ceased to exist. WABD, now independent, stubbornly carried the show until 1958. The Magic Clown then went across the river to New Jersey and local independent station WNTA. A year later, in 1959, WNTA dropped the series. 3 years after that, WNTA was bought out by what is now known as PBS. Guilt is a powerful thing, isn't it? Fast forward to 1970, and somebody, presumably thoroughly coked up, thought to have a syndicated revival of The Magic Clown. Due to a lack of interest, not to mention a healthy dose of intelligence, very few stations picked up the revival, and the show died the grisly death it deserved less than a year later. So, I've held off as long as I can. I now present The Magic Clown. Then as now, NBC stands for nothing but crap. Aren't you so glad your parents were the first ones in the neighborhood to own a television?
Let's all sing the Bonomo song good and loud.
Come on, damn it! Don't you know the words? They're
That was all right.
by lobotomy patient standards.
I'm working on a new invention. It's so new I don't even know what I invented, but we'll find out.
But I'm sure it's a genuine Bonomo product.
Which you can plainly see right on the table, and we'll pour in a little aqua. You know what aqua means, kids?
A bad late 90s Europop outfit?
Oh, fellow students in chemistry, I see. Nothing like a good education. Well,
you know, those cheeks aren't fake. They're just severely swollen from sampling Bonomo's delicious Turkish taffy.
Oh, Ray Morgan will kill me for that joke. And we just dip it right in like this. He says your humor is not to be laughed at, Magic Clown. I'll also find out what he means by that.
I know what it means.
Roll it up into a little wad.
Don't blow your wad, Magic Clown.
Take this fan that you can very plainly see.
My biggest fan, my only fan.
This little wad. Now, you kids remember the trick where I took these two pieces of paper, and when I bounced it on the fan, it turned into confetti. And I bounced it, about 20 or 30 times.
My mouth is bleeding from the candy.
20 or 30,000 times.
I want to go home.
Look what's happening over here. That's what I'd like to know. What?
You're playing with wet paper. That's what, dumbass.
And into an egg. Hey. Well, what do you know? Isn't that really a wonderful egg? It's a good imitation, no kidding.
Why don't you go suck that egg, Magic Clown?
Magic Clown, if you're really a magician, you'll turn that egg into a real egg. And all you have to do is to pick it up and you say the magic word.
Avarice!
Bonomo, there's nothing like it.
Those kids aren't actually cheering. They're screaming in pain from the candy.
Let me see. How about you, young man? There,
no, you can't leave. Damn Turkish taffy must have warped his brain.
I'll hypnotize you rigid and stand in that place. Now,
you know, that lobotomy crack I made earlier was just a joke, I swear.
What? They raised the prices again? Well, everything goes up these days. Now,
hey, yes, you with the laptop. You! Get back here! If I have to put up with this, in fact, if we all have to put up with this, so do you! You're gonna suffer with the rest of us, and you're gonna like it!
Alibaba Jr., and he knows the magic word, too, but just a little bit different. What's the magic word that he says?
Death! Well, it should be the magic word.
Now, Alibaba had a number of jars that were filled with treasures.
Life is cheap here in Casablanca.
Them down, and in order to tell the difference, he put a different label on each one.
Spaceship in the background.
On each one of these jars.
Only in this miserable alternate universe would a painted hunk of cardboard qualify as a jar.
The treasure is. That's really the secret.
You know, the treasure wouldn't happen to be the hour of my life that I lost watching this back, would it?
And he knows what you're thinking of. He's almost a mind reader himself. You point to any of the jars that you want.
You know, if you listen closely, you can hear the sound of a childhood dying. Conveniently, I've got a Bonomo brand jar to put the remains in.
That second dose. Swinging it around, Alibaba, round and around he goes where he...
If Alibaba has half a brain in his Bonomo brand cardboard skull, he'll fly off the table and into the Magic Clown's eye. Of all the kiddie shows in all the world, I had to walk into this
Give them
one.
another chance, kids. All right, I'll give you another chance. Pick another one of these. Anyone you want, you've got the choice because Alibaba knows that every single... Oh,
Commie.
They can't see it, but as long as they know it's the second one. Alibaba, I want you to pick the one the young man pointed to.
Alibaba, I want you to aim for the clown's family jewels. Before I forget, very little is known about Zavello, the magic clown. Wikipedia lists his real name as Josh Norris, though I found nothing to confirm anything. In fact, of the 4 people to portray the magic clown, I can't find a thing on 3 of them. One thing's for sure, though, now we know what they were watching in Twin Peaks.
Alibaba, do your stuff. Around and around he goes, and where he stops, only Alibaba knows. Oh, don't disappoint me now.
Define disappointment.
Say, he's pointing to the jar that's marked an M like an
Or M like, my God, get on with it!
Whether the treasure is in here. That's the one with the treasure. Say, it's just a handkerchief. There must be something else. Aha! One of those turkeys
I think I just gave myself a concussion.
That was wonderful.
Well, that's it for today's archive. I'm off to the hospital now.